Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to create a discussion board in Schoology. I love discussion boards. They're my favorite feature in Schoology. There's so many different ways that you can use this one particular tool, but we'll get to that later. For now, I'm just going to show you how to add one. Okay, so I'm going to my creative writing course, and I'm going to just use that add materials feature, and I will choose add discussion. Okay, here you want to give it a title that's going to be sensible from the front page, so students could look at this title and really know exactly what it's for. So we'll say orientation discussion board. Okay, underneath that there's a box and it says description, but what I really use this for is basically it's the assignment sheet for the discussion board, and on this particular spot I put very clear directions about what the students are supposed to do. Okay, so I'll show you that in a minute, but for right now, I'm just going to show you how you use it. Okay, so maybe my directions are in 2 to 3 sentences. Describe your summer. Be sure to add a picture. Okay, so underneath that description box, there are some tools which you may or may not want to use. Okay, so say you wanted to add an assignment sheet that you wrote in Google Docs, you could add a link to it here, or if you had a picture that you had saved to your machine and you want to add it here, you can do that. You can also assign particular due dates. I'm not going to get into that right now. You could just kind of play with that later. And enable grading, same thing. I'm just going to show you how to create a discussion board right now. The only thing you do want to make sure is that you have published it to students, which is the default setting. Otherwise, they won't be able to see it. Okay, so once I've got it, I will create it. And there it is, pops up right on the front page. Okay, so when students go to access this discussion board, they click on the live link and it says what you told them to write about. In 2 to 3 sentences, describe your summer. Be sure to add a picture. So if I'm a student, I can go to the comments box and I can say, my summer was great. And then from there, I can add, you told me to add a picture, I can do that. So I can add a picture that I have in my Google Drive using the link feature, or I can find a picture online that way. I can also add it as a file, which is what I'm going to do. I have a picture saved to my desktop, and I'm going to just select it, open, and then I can post it. And you can see there's me enjoying hiking in Yellowstone. So great. Okay, so then if a student's going to reply to the post, all they have to do is intuitively click reply. They can type in the comments box, and they can also add additional materials if they wish. There's also kind of a neat feature that you can just like somebody's to show that you read it and you like it. Okay, so let's say they all make their initial post and then you go back and decide that you want them to respond to each other's posts, but you hadn't told them to do that. You can then click on the cog next to orientation discussion board from your front page, click edit, and you can add to the directions. Reply to one of your classmates' posts. I can also choose to move it. So say I wanted to embed it in this orientation folder, I can use that same cog, click move, and decide where I want it to go. I want it to go to the orientation folder, and now it is embedded in that orientation folder. Okay, so I just want to show you 1 or 2 more quick things about this. You can make this as elaborate and academic and rigorous, or as lighthearted and fun as you like. So I'm going to show you, this one was something I did with creative writing where they took a writing sample that they had written in their journals, and they typed it up and they made a word cloud of it. And then they shared it with their classmates. So I put the directions, share a link to your word cloud here. So they had them saved in their Google Drive. In the comments box, write out the question and prompt you're responding to, and then analyze the results of your word cloud. So I decided to do this as a discussion board because I thought they would enjoy seeing each other's work. It's also in creative writing, you get a huge spectrum of students. Some are very capable, others barely can follow what's happening. And so in this particular situation, it was a great way for them to see each other's work and be able to kind of get a better sense of what the assignment is when the fast workers were finishing and turning it in. The ones that were sort of still processing a little more slowly were able to look at the work of their peers, and it gave them some great ideas. I'd say this is it's got some added features to it, but here's an example of a relatively complex discussion board that we did in English 4. And this is a way of sort of chunking the writing that they were doing. They were doing analytical writing, and what they were analyzing was song lyrics, analyzing them as poetry. Okay, so you can see in this description, this is what it told, the directions that they had when I typed up that description box. I put very specific items that they were supposed to do and very specific directions about how they were supposed to do it, including a response with bulleted specifications about what was supposed to happen in that response. Now, this is for seniors. This is something that we worked on together. So this is a kind of a complex one, but I just wanted to take a second to show you some of the long-term capabilities as you get more and more comfortable with this. It's got a lot of potential, and I use discussion boards for a lot of different things. But in terms of just creating a basic one, that's really all there is to it.